Yeah, I mean, I'm not the medical and S&C's favourite person at the moment because we're supposed to cap him at 20, but it's kind of hard not to put him out there when he's plus 22. So look, there's a level of stability, and even at the end where it started to get a little bit away from us, you know, you chuck Kyle in there and there was just these two level heads that just had this real calming influence to, you know, finish out the game. So but this is what we wanted. This is what we wanted early on. It's good to see. And again, with 3 games in, where no one's winning anything in October, right? So, but you can see the infancy stage where we're at and the direction we're going in. The boys get around him. That's good.
I guess from your perspective, Taran, how great is it to get back on the court after coming back from injury?
Yeah, great. Obviously, I was in a little bit of a similar position last year, and I came back and I was a bit slow to find my feet, and you know, part of that was being new to the NBL and you know, getting used to the pace. But you know, having a year of experience under my belt, it was you know, familiar territory, so to speak. But you know, I was so excited to play with these guys, and watching the performance last week was really good. And you know, I didn't want to mess that up a little bit. You know, like they were great to watch, and you know, I'm so grateful to be a part of this team, and I was glad that the transition was seamless and we had success. You know, pretty seamlessly.
I guess were you impressed with the fact that the guys were able to play the game out and really get it, you know, got up to about 20 points and think there, and Martin came back down to 4 points to be able to hold on, and 12 points or something in the end.
Yeah, again, we're not a finished product, so there's a lot of lessons to take away from this. The lessons are easy to teach after a win compared to, you know, if it was a loss and it's a tougher pill to swallow. But you know, again, we're not trying to get too far in front. We're not trying to get too far behind. We're taking this as a daily process, and there's some things that are going to be transferable when we play Melbourne in a day and a half. And so the review is going to be quick. We're going to have some real impact clips of the areas that we want to work on and improve. Knowing that we're going into a tough venue in Melbourne, and they're like Tassie, they're the gold standard in a sense of, you know, disciplined basketball. So we want to make sure that we want to keep ticking boxes regardless of the result, and we've got to make sure we keep getting better.
Any reason why Jackson didn't get any minutes tonight?
It was just whoever I sort of put out there was really good. And, you know, even now look at the box score of like AK, you know, there was opportunities for him to get more minutes, but KG and Wardenberg were real good. There's more minutes not to be played than there is. If you played everybody equal amount of minutes, they're playing 16 minutes and sitting out for 24. So it's not a way really to manage a roster. Jackson was real good about it. I spoke to him directly after the game. The way the game was at the end, you know, it required a guy that played 300 games, and that's where Kyle was able to bring in that calming influence. So next week will be different, and the following week will be different. We're just sort of sticking with the guys right now that's given us what we need momentum-wise, but you know, things change.
You talk about momentum-wise, you had 8 different scorers tonight. That's got to be pretty pleasing that you're not just relying on 1 or 2 sort of big hitters.
Yeah, we're moving the ball. They're playing as a team, and that's really important. That's something we've driven from the start. You know, we talk about, you know, Taran really driving this team and the influence that Wardenberg and Jonah have in that leadership group. But the reality is that, you know, yeah, like Taran had 20 points tonight, which was great, but the expectation is not to go out and score 20 points every night. If you do, fantastic, but, you know, this is where it's a collective effort, and we're not just this one-man team to go out there and have this guy drop 30, 40, and that be the difference between winning and losing. So, you know, the boys play for each other, and that's really important.
Taran, this one's more for you, but obviously the crowd were electric tonight. It's great to play in front of that. How important is it to make Cairns an actual fortress for you guys at home where you don't drop a game? I know it's only October, but you've got to be pretty happy with how the crowd turned out for you last week and again this week? No,
for sure. You know, Cairns is a long way away from anything. So, you know, teams are coming in, flying in, and you know, the travel's a real thing. You know, like our teams like Perth and Melbourne, and especially Tassie, who have to travel a long way. You know, it's not an excuse, but you know, it's tough to play, and it's the same for us going on the road. So, but these fans are great, and that's, you know, something I want to be. I want to be a little bit more expressive this season. You know, I want to show a little bit more personality, and you know, feed energy to the fans a little bit more, just because I actually do really appreciate them, and it's a little bit out of my nature to do so, but I want to show that I actually really do appreciate them, and I'm glad they come out and pack it out the way they do.
And the JackJumpers assistant coach said pre-game that they had some success up here. You've just ended a 5-game winning streak on there. That's going to be pretty good to have that sort of feeling.
I mean, it's a new season, and this is what's really important. It's a new group, new season. We're not trying to do anything else other than what's in the present moment, what's in front of us right now. Like, I know it sounds cliched in the old coaching terms, but the same can be said about we go into Melbourne and we can sit there and talk about how we're 3-0 against them last year and then get absolutely pumped by 30. Doesn't mean anything. So it's really important now that the boys, tomorrow we've got recovery and we've got a flight and we'll do review, and then we've got to roll into a hostile environment and play a really good basketball team.
And a little incident at the end with Rob. He's very calm. He's all good.
Yeah, Rob's great. Rob's Rob.
Chris?
Taran, there was a lot to like tonight, but is the thing that you're most proud of now that's the game that JackJumpers usually win once they get the momentum late, they find a way to stay in it, then they get within 4 points late in that game. But you were able to respond and take over, and you were a big part of that. Is that the thing that you're most proud of from tonight?
Not really. I mean, I'm proud of the team as a whole, Obviously it was nice to, have an opportunity to sort of take the game on a little bit, and obviously I can't do that without, Forde's belief and Forde's trust and my teammates' trust as well, so that's obviously huge, but I'm also happy with the collective effort, like I took the most field goals, no one really took, more than 10, and so everyone's sort of, chipping in, doing their part and playing unselfish, and, that's probably the thing I'm most, happy with.
I think that's a great point. You're right. You're the only guy that took, double-figure shots for the game. But you've got. We spoke to Kyle about this after the game last week as well. There's so many good guys that, as a point guard, you can find on this team. You can go inside to Tanner if need be, but then you've got Rob and all these guys that can shoot. You can find Kyron. There's so many options for you as a point guard. This must be a fun team to be the point guard on.
Definitely, it's really sort of like a pick your poison kind of team. Because we've got, at any given time, we've got 5 guys that are willing to shoot the 3-ball, and that's gonna be. We didn't actually shoot that many tonight. We probably want to get that up, our attempts, as long as they're good shots. But yeah, super fun group. Athletically, fast breaks. We've got guys I can throw it up to, and we've got guys who can fill lanes and space it out. And I think that's an area we're still getting better. There are a few times in transition where I felt like, we could have hit the corners and maybe got some, open corner threes. And but, it's actually our first time playing together, really, so we'll get there.
Forde, similar question to that first one I asked Taran. I mean, it was great to see you play so well to go up 24 points in the first place, but to then be able to turn the momentum back against the JackJumpers when they had it in those last 4 minutes, how pleasing was that for you to see?
Yeah, I mean, it just gives it a little bit of validation that I'm right again. Like, I knew Taran was going to be good. Taran is good. I'm right again.
You already mentioned this before, so it might be a silly question, but the fact that you played so well against Melbourne last season, does that mean anything going into Sunday, or is it completely new?
No, like, again, you talk about, like, a team that, for us, we've had a real good pre-season, and we've done a little mini camp, and we're galvanising this group, and we're trying to crash course all this team chemistry in the last three and a half months. And then you've got a team like Melbourne that has a lot of good chemistry and a lot of guys that have been teammates for multiple seasons. And so, you really got to make sure you bring your A game with those guys. It's handy from a coaching perspective, the way the schedule was, because even though we've got the 2 grand finalists this weekend, they played each other twice. And so it gives my assistant coaches a bit of an easier job, knowing that the scout between Tassie and Melbourne, and we got them this weekend, they played each other twice. So we've got a pretty good sample size of, what to expect. Obviously 2 very different teams, but our preparation's been pretty good. And again, I give credit to Kez and Will and Mitch, who do so much of the heavy lifting in that regards that I just sort of stand on the sideline and get to do what I do, knowing they've got the scout covered.
And just lastly to you, Taran, how much do you look forward to Sunday now to get the chance to go up against guys like Shane and Delhi 1-on-1?
Yeah, awesome. I mean, obviously, I grew up watching Delhi, and have followed his journey for a long time. And even last year, like, he was a step above a lot of the other point guards, respectfully. His physicality and his leadership and the qualities that he brings is something that I can see myself doing and trying to implement into my game. But it's going to be a great challenge, and I'm really excited for it.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.